Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to look at universities in and outside the US that give 100% financial aid to international students. I'm very excited about this episode because we are going to get a full understanding of everything regarding financial aid, scholarships and grants, while also carefully deciding which universities to put much more effort on when making our applications. As you all know, the cost of studying in the US is very high, especially for international students, and there are so many universities with so many nice offers, but how do we actually narrow them down, and how do we actually apply for the right ones, the right courses, and the ones that will actually help us in terms of financial issues? That's what we're going to look at in this video. At the end of this video, you're also going to walk home with about 3 universities outside the US. I mean universities that have campuses outside the US with very nice financial aid packages as well. I'm also going to supplement that with different universities which have some nice financial aid packages that you may want to consider. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Baozar Zakariyyah. I make videos on scholarship, study abroad, and life as an international student. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe, share with friends, and don't forget to like it so that YouTube can recommend this video to other students who would want to benefit from great opportunities like this. Okay guys, let's get right started. Okay guys, so let us start with definition of important terms. Scholarships are merit-based award. For example, I get about 1,500 in the SAT, and as a result I get admitted into, let's say, Harvard, and Harvard decides to give me some merit scholarship because of my academic results or because of my 4.0 GPA. That means I have gotten a scholarship. Financial aid is like the big brother of scholarship, because scholarship is some sort of financial aid, but it is only based on merit, while financial aid can be based on merit as well as needs as well as status. But for the sake of this video, we are going to refer to financial aid as money given to support the cost of studying in a university based on the student's needs. So to explain financial aid better, let's say for example I get admitted into Tufts University. The cost of attendance for this university is way over $70,000. I cannot afford that, since Tufts doesn't want to lose the qualified applicants like me, you know. Tufts subtract how much I can pay out of the cost of attendance, and they would cover the rest. The remaining amount after subtraction is referred to as demonstrated need. According to Tufts, demonstrated need is the difference between the annual cost to attend Tufts and the amount a student's family is expected to contribute each year. So demonstrated need is equals to cost of attendance minus family contribution. How will Tufts know how much a family can actually contribute towards the cost of attendance? As an international student, I have to fill a form, which in most cases is the CSS. For most universities, you just have to fill the CSS form, and actually most universities have a code. When filling the CSS form, you add the code of the university to the CSS form so that they know who to send your documents to. Yeah, very, very straightforward. So CSS form will ask you for your details, your family details, your family income details, how much you pay in tax, your assets. So it is a very good form to explain to the university, to prove to them that this is the amount we can afford as a family, and these are the documents to prove them. If you want to know how to apply for CSS, you can watch the video right here. On Swarthmore's college website, it is stated that regardless of your citizenship, if Swarthmore admits you and you applied for financial aid, the college meets 100% of your institutionally determined financial need. This means that a university like Swarthmore or universities like Swarthmore are promising to meet 100% of your demonstrated financial need. So after you submit all your documents on the CSS, and the university can calculate how much you can actually contribute as a family, or you yourself, or as your sponsor, then the rest of the amount, which is the demonstrated need, they agree to sponsor everything 100%. So in this video, we're going to look at universities like Swarthmore or Tufts that have promised to do this. We're also going to look at universities that have campuses outside the US and also promise to give such nice packages. Like I said earlier, financial aids are need-based, scholarships are merit-based. So let's say for example you require about 1,500 in the SAT to actually get into a university like, let's say, Princeton, for example. Maybe you have 1,520. That means you can get into Princeton, but because of the number of applicants, or because of the quality of the applicants and the very, very low acceptance rate of Princeton, only those that got 1,540 and above could qualify and get the merit scholarship which Princeton offers. As a result, you could not get any merit scholarship from Princeton, or the merit scholarship you got is very low. In that case, a financial aid would be better because you are actually qualified academically to get into Princeton. You can prove to them that, okay, I don't have enough money to pay for the Princeton fees, or I can actually contribute maybe half or 10% or 5% of the fees, and I need Princeton to support me for the rest. Okay guys, let's quickly talk about financial aid packages. Financial aid packages may differ from university to university, but generally they comprise of work and study options, loans, scholarships, and need-based aid. Financial aid packages may include loans with interest or without interest. So for example, a university like, let's say, Stanford can say, okay, hey Baozar, you come. We are going to accept you and give you $10,000 merit scholarship. Since you can pay only $5,000, that means $15,000 is settled out of $80,000. As for the remaining $65,000, we are going to make an agreement with you for work and study so that you can work in the library or work in some restaurants, and you pay a particular amount every month. So let's say maybe $5,000 is also taken out from there. That means $20,000 is managed, and we have $60,000 left. Out of that $60,000, let's say Stanford is promising to meet about $55,000, 99% or 90% of demonstrated need. The remaining $5,000 will be a loan which I have to take from the government and pay back after graduation. Yeah, this is just a rough estimate. I'm trying to explain to you what a financial aid package may look like. So because everything is actually okay except the loan part, some universities have made sure their loans are interest-free, while for some universities you have to pay the interest fee as well. So this is one disadvantage about financial aid, but with the very compact, comprehensive list and blog which was released by Prep Scholar, we're going to look at which universities have no loans. We're also going to look at universities that will waive loan if your family income is below a particular amount yearly. Thanks to Prep Scholar for making such a very comprehensive list. Okay guys, if you have been watching all this time, then thank you very much. I believe you actually gained something. So now that you understand all these terms, financial aid packages, demonstrated need, scholarships, grants, and financial aids, now we can go into universities with campuses outside the US that have very nice aid packages. Number one is Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. The second one is Northwestern University in Qatar. They both meet demonstrated needs through a combination of grants, scholarships, and interest-free education loans in collaboration with the Qatar Foundation. Qatari Foundation says that they can help you make agreements with some companies in Qatar so that by the time you graduate, if your financial aid package includes loans, then you have to work with such companies after graduation until you pay the non-interest loans. Number three is New York University, Abu Dhabi. I also checked the Shanghai campus, NYU Shanghai, and the financial aid policy is quite similar. NYUAD also meets 100% of your demonstrated need. In fact, I have a friend, the friend of my cousin actually, who recently graduated from NYUAD without paying a dime for his entire 4 years. Please make sure you submit your CSS profile before the deadlines. The deadlines for the CSS profile for each school can be found on their website. For example, NYUAD says that the deadline for financial aid application for early decision 1 is November 15. The CSS profile will be opened on the 1st of October. So you have about 1.5 months before early decision 1 deadline. If you cannot meet early decision because maybe you couldn't get your documents or so, you can work towards early decision 2, or you can work towards the regular decision, which is February 20. The most important thing is to apply before these deadlines. You cannot ask for aid after getting admission. You have to submit your application before the deadlines. Now, the last two universities I'll talk about are Bard College in Berlin and Duquesne University in China. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, these ones have financial packages for tuition fees only. So for Bard College, they say financial aid is in the form of tuition waivers, which can be as low as 20% up to 100%. And for Duquesne University, need-based financial aid is reserved for students who demonstrate a lack of financial resources to cover tuition payments. If I want to mention one more, it will be Georgetown University in Qatar, but they don't have a lot of departments compared to the other universities here, so you may want to check it out if the very little departments they have in your line of interest. Aside from that, these are the universities that actually interested me, and I hope you can apply for some of them. Okay guys, we've pretty much explained 90% of what we have for today. Finally, before you leave, you have to apply for CSS, and CSS have specific deadlines which the school will define. CSS will be open on the 1st of October this year. You'll be able to apply starting from that date. So if your school requires a CSS profile, then make sure you check the deadline for that school and submit it as soon as possible. I want you not to worry about application fees for both the CSS and these universities, because almost all universities now have application fee waivers, and since most of them require you to apply with the common app, you can directly apply for a fee waiver through the common app. If you don't know how to go about it, ask your counselor to help you out with that. It is very straightforward. Okay, if you watched the video up to this point, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you could take something home. If you want to learn more about how I won a fully funded scholarship, you can watch this video on the right. And if you want to find out fully funded scholarships all over the world with deadlines in January or February, you can watch this video on the left. That's it from me guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.